I ain't perfect now. Okay. I'm just letting y'all know. I try every day. If you trust God, everything that you're going through takes time. Everything. It's never gonna be on your time. I've been waiting all this time for Michael to reach me, and I'm still waiting. But I trust God. Oh, I trust God. Because if I trust myself, I'll go figure that stuff out. That's what gets us in trouble. We go try to figure it out on our own. We create solutions and we're like, oh my God, I made the wrong mistake. Because we want things to work our way. We want to get out of that situation. We want to stop that pain. But that's not how life goes. So my word of advice is stop complaining and be grateful where you're at that moment. He's not going to put too much on you more than you can bear. He's going to give you that peace while you're dealing with your situation. He's going to give you that peace. But in the midst of that situation that you're going through, what is it you're learning? What is it you're gaining? What is it you're understanding? Are you gaining that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, young man and young lady? I mean, what is it? Like, be grateful. Be grateful because half of y'all ain't grateful. And remember, believing is hard. It's not hard for me anymore, but it used to be because you don't want to believe. You don't want to believe that somebody else could help you because you don't trust. It's hard for you to trust. You've been hurt by your family and your friends. Get over it. It's hard to trust, but guess what? If you truly want change in your life, you have to accept that the world is not for you. You have to accept that things are going to come. You have to accept that life is life. And it's a bunch of trash. It's a bunch of crazy people. It's a bunch of situations that you're not going to understand. You have to learn from. It's life. I try every day. Every day you're going to have to do this. And some days it's hard. Some days you're going to mess up. I know I have. And some days it's going to get easier. And then you perfect it. And then guess what? It's another thing you're going to go through. But my pain is too great. I'm going through so much in my life. I'm so over it. Why does this keep happening to me? Get over it. Get over it. In the moment that you're talking like that, you need to go to your bed, go take a nap. And while you go take a nap, you think to yourself and say, okay, God, I'm going to keep going to work. I'm going to try to be nice. Okay, God, I don't know where I'm going to get this money from. I'm thinking about stripping. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing that. But I'm going to trust you, God. I might get kicked out tomorrow. But God, please help me find a way. And let me tell you, when you trust yourself, when you know in your heart, I'm going to make it. I might sleep under this bridge tonight because God, you told me you're going to make me a miracle. When you truly trust yourself, you truly trust God, it's going to come out of nowhere. It's going to come out of nowhere. And sometimes you're going to be like, you're going to go through it for so long and you're going to be like, I don't want to trust you anymore. I'm tired of this. I hate this. Keep trusting. You know how many days I cried? How many episodes I had? I had to go to the hole for a couple of days just to get my mind right, to process my situation that I have not seen my son. Do you know how many days I wanted to give up? How many times I wanted to fight that situation? And I just was like, you're going to make a miracle happen. But let me give you what the tool is. The word. Oh, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear the word. The word is what gives you strength. That's how you trust God, is the word. And I'm going to give you an example. Jeremiah 31. Just read the chapter, Jeremiah 31. It talks about stop your crying. You and your child will be put together from where you came. You have to read it. But I used to read that scripture every day. God gave me that scripture. And for years, I held on to that scripture. For years, I held on to that scripture. It's another scripture. I think it's Psalms 27. And it talks about for your mother and your father may not be with you, but I will be with you. That made me stop hating my parents. That made me stop really like trusting that God is my, he's my authority figure. So you have to use the word as your authority. You have to the word that y'all don't want to believe, that y'all feel like it's nothing. It's just, what is it? The contradiction is the tool of life. It's the tool of life. He's literally saying like, look, I gave you this Bible and I'm not going to give you too much to bear. But if you read this scripture and it deals with your situation and you trust me, I will make things happen in your life. And you're through the midst of it, you're going to see things happen and you're going to be like, how did this happen? And that's how it works. That's how it works. Prayer works. You don't believe in that? Prayer works. But you know because you don't see it, you don't want to believe it. Because you don't do it, you don't see the magic. You don't see the peace. I don't care if you're selling dope. I don't care if you're stripping. I don't care if you, I don't care what you got going on in your life. I don't care what y'all got going on in your life. Believe that in the midst of pain, there's a decision making right here. Am I going to do what I want to do? Or I'm going to follow what you say and trust in the midst of my pain and my crying and my agony and my hurt that you're going to make a way. Now, for you surface readers out there, because there's scriptures, people want to read the surface and don't get the depth of what that means. It's a whole different chapter of what I'm going to talk about in another video. But I'm just saying, when you read it, eat it, understand it, dissect it. Don't just read it. It's life. And if you don't believe and you want to do this, but this what I'm going to say, don't even go find a pastor, because God ain't never got to defend himself. Read it and pray about it, and God's going to show it to you. Don't put a time frame on it. You can ask him now, because I put my hand on everything. Anything you ask God, he going to show out and show up. I promise you. It may not be on your time, but he is. But let me tell you something. Do the work. Read it and ask him what it means and how to do it, because it works. Then try this. You be like, man, God, I'm finna go sell some dope, cause man, I gotta eat. I'm finna go rob. I'm finna go do what I want to do. But before you make that decision, say, God, I'm gonna go do this. If you real, I'm gonna do this at this time with these people. If you real, stop me and show me that you gonna help me. Do it. Even if you're making a decision to go do it, make the decision to go do it. But ask him to show you, ask him to help you. I mean, that's all I got. That's all I got. And God bless you. And hopefully I did something.